Alright, welcome Giga Gamers, welcome to the Strat Chat. We've got something special for you. New World is about to release. If you're watching this today, it is 5 days away. By the time you see this, it is probably imminent on release, or maybe it's already coming. If you're hollering from the future, let me know in the comments below. I'm pumped, and especially, not just New World in general, the whole game looks sick, but the biggest part of it is going to be the PvP 50 on 50 sieges, the wars, right? Declaring war on a territory to claim it as your own, defending what you've paid for, right? Defending what you have worked for is going to be the coolest part of this game. I'm super hyped about it. So we're going to be going over a little game review right here. We're going to go and check out Jula, his point of view as he goes through his first defense. Without further ado, let's go live. I'm going to turn the sounds off for now. All right, let's see if we can see his level relative to everyone else. It looks like we've got low 30s, some 20s, a decent amount of 20s. Rare gear. All right, so this is still fairly early game, all right? Loading up. This is a lot of moving around. So one of the things that you're going to want to do in the setup as your war defense, you should be checking out the map. Actually, you know what? I do want to hear the game cons, because I want to hear what they're calling about.
Not in your hands.
Right now, the early game should all be about who's leading which companies. You should already have that decided. You should already have groups of 5, basically, with captains, or maybe up to 10, and say, I've got 5 groups, I've got 5 officers in charge of 10 people, and we each have a designated role. When you get out on the map, you want to be looking up your map, see what the siege is going to look like. I don't know yet, as of the posting of this video, whether or not every war, every fort is going to be the same. I imagine they're all different. I don't know what the shape of the siege is going to look like, but right now, it looks like they have a point they're defending. It looks like 3 points in a line, A, B, C, with enemy structures ahead. Alright, so this is a fine spot for a musket user. It looks like they've got frontline defending A. They probably have even numbers based on the number of people they've got here. Looks like they've got even numbers defending every point at the moment. If you're the attacker, you do not want to have even spread, because then you just fight even fights. You want to create heavy lines. You want to be able to go strong in one direction. Probably a side, because the middle is the easiest to defend. I don't know how long it'll take the siege structures to get up, but that should be a priority, especially for the defending team. Alright, this is too close. No reason for the musket user to be this close. Alright, they pushed up this line. Alright, this was the weakness of the attack, right? You brought 10 people to attack one spot. Maybe they're saying we're going to bring just enough people so that they think they have to defend A, but the majority of our forces are on C or B. Alright, one of the things, especially as a ranged user, he's probably going to have a lot of stuff to do over and over. If you're one of the tanks, you should constantly be looking at your map to see if you can get information about what's going on. But this position of the musket user right here, too far ahead.
Yeah, we won on C.
I put more down, they're coming back in.
Yeah, just keep the range DPS up.
Okay, so they should be moving, right? You've just defended point A. You just sent everyone back. There's no reason to just stay here. You should be moving into a better position between B and C, or closer to B and C, so that you can get better defense off.
They might try and flank your right side.
They're trying to get into the trees.
They're not going right side yet. You're close by.
Now, I like that they're saying left and right side. That's pretty good. But you should, if you can identify landmarks, that's even better.
Keep going with the range DPS.
I rotate right side.
They're doubling.
I thought.
Alright, back off.
Just zone them. We're winning like this. Good fucking kill.
Oh shit, well the range DPS backs them off. Alright, they're getting flanked. Look at them! Yeah, roll.
Yeah, we just stay.
We stay. Yeah, we hold.
Ideal if you're setting up a Discord server for this, I would have 3 different war rooms. The people that are in charge of A, B, and C, and then if you need to, you have one person designated that can hop between the different rooms to say, hey, we need more help. That might be too slow. It might prove to be too slow, but that would be an ideal situation. Alright, so again, these guys staying here, they should be moving into a slightly better position. Now, if you're a sniper build, like it looks like this guy is, instead of being on the line with the Vanguard, right, you're going to take the same shots that the Vanguard is taking. I'd much rather see this musket user find a way up onto this ridge, for example, or to find a way, like, hide up behind these walls. Something that gives you advantage, cover, and sight of everybody. Like, right now, he's losing sight of everyone that's over here.
Yeah, move right. Everybody's left. Move right.
Range where you.
Okay, so we ended up with the majority of the forces avoiding the majority of the spray damage, or some of the spray damage from this character. Alright, so he switches into rapier mode for the melee. That makes sense.
The heals down. They're dying. Good shit. Keep going.
2v1s. You want to get as many numbers up fights as you can, right? You just want to be fast. 5-on-1, 5-on-2. Boom, boom. Focus fire, come back. It's always better rather than reaching alone. You want to come back, consolidate.
Alright, backing off. They're going low.
Good job with the crippling shot.
Bottom right.
Keeping the runners slow.
Don't line at the path. Don't line at the pathway.
We're good at front line.
One of them's rushing our back line.
Kill this
Dude,
guy.
this is
Focus him
so
down.
sick. You can see he hasn't blinked, man. This guy, I have not seen this guy blink. This is just intense action. There it is. One blink as he switched
They're
screens.
full sending on A. We got backup coming.
Alright, we've got a full aggro push on A. See, now this would be a situation where the musket user,
Lay down A wheel.
right? So if you're the ranged DPS, you don't want to be taking the same damage that your Vanguard is taking. You want to be in a position like this where you can deal full DPS and not worry about retaliation
Lay down
fire.
A and try to survive.
Fall back.
Alright, main force is coming in.
Alright, good. Musket user being the very back line is the optimal for him.
I'm dead. Heal it down.
Alright, main force is coming in from the site now. Respawn if you can. Go respawn bases.
Alright, so it looks like the timer, here we go. So this is what red team's trying to do. They're trying to control this point. Once you get it, once you get this fully unlocked, you own it. It is yours, alright? So if you can make a consolidated effort and hold a territory, that's what you want to go. I still don't see any siege engines. Siege engines should be the majority of what your team is doing.
Go in. Try and pick off low targets.
I like what that guy says. Try to pick off low targets.
Alright. We're regrouping on A.
Alright, here we go. We got the brunt of the forces coming on A. This looks like a full frontal assault.
And hit him high.
Okay, good. You get into aiming position. Look at this. Behind the reeds. Perfect. Fewer people are going to be able to see you. You know where, more or less, you can just spray into that. You're going to hit somebody. Revolutionary War musket style. Just boom. The line is there. It's just spray into the line.
Yeah, so they're straight respawning.
Alright, so now you have to be careful because red can actually claim points up here. Right? You should get ranged DPS if you're the siegers up here so you can call down on this.
Rain down.
Yeah. We can push this. It's all just range.
Yeah.
Alright, good. I like the push call.
They're like falling back a bit.
There you go. They're able to hold this off. Alright, where are the siege engines? I'm still waiting for them. I don't see them.
Up here in the trees.
Alright, now a little issue with attacking point A. Point A has a river right here, so they get natural choke point defense, right? Everyone who's coming needs to come this way or around the river. It means you only get 2 ways to approach. It's also 0 chance of stealthing in, right? You can't cross this. It'll be too slow. I don't know much about this pond in general, but it would probably slow you down. You'd be a sitting duck for anyone with ranged DPS. This seems like point A is the worst place to take. We're going to talk about advanced game theory a little bit later, but basically, even though it's the worst place to take, if you never go to point A, then the defenders know that they can go to B and C always. So sometimes you do want to go. Maybe 10% of the time, we're going to do a 60-30-10 split of optimal, second best, and then unpredictable strategies. Alright, so that's the first time this guy has checked out the map. Let's see what he's looking at. Alright, so we've got, it looks like their fortress. This might be where they respawn or something like this. Their campfire or whatnot. But it looks like they're coming from around this area. This might just be the world map. It looks like you fight on the actual world map, right? You know, the area probably gets closed off for the actual PvP. But here's, let's see, what are all these pings? You can't really see what they are. Point A, point B, point C. Look at this. This provides a natural defense, and this looks like it's all cliffs. right? So there's probably no way to access a flanking position on A. You have to run through this choke. So actually, in the defense of A, you could actually just step up in front of B and just rain down fury in front of anyone who's trying to come this way. That being said, right, if I'm the sieging team and there's a structure like this, I would send one guy across this way, maybe a small platoon, right, a small unit, probably tanks that can just sit on the point. You send them across, keep them out of vision, have them crouch. Once they get about this close, crouch their way in. It's fine to be patient because no one's going to be defending point A. Everyone's going to be on B and C, and then you can come in and try to take this point, kind of sneaking behind everyone. But this is a really cool structure. I love the idea of like setting up these funnel points. Alright, let's look at the shop. What does he have access to? Ammunition kit, cleansing kit. You're supposed to get 50 shots. Alright, so here you can't buy the siege weapons. You can get an inferno trap. This is like a landmine. You can get tons of ammo. You get 50 of these. Finite. 50 things to go. It looks like a lot of them bought haste elixirs, including this guy. I don't... Oh, there's the powder keg for 50. Alright, you can put these in front of the gates and make sure that they can't get in. It doesn't look... I wonder if it's filtering. No, it's not filtering based on his cost. What is this? It says he has 94 battle tokens. I thought you were only supposed to get 50. Okay, so 94. Maybe that changes things. But 50 for a powder keg. This is last line defense. You also want to look at the siege weapons, which I believe cost 50. That's what they said it was going to be. So you've got cleansing elixir. This is probably for debuffs. Mana, health, extra. These are probably extra potent arrows. General ammunition. It looks like he already bought a haste elixir. He's already got one. It looks like this is on... No, that's probably just the tag for it. This is just moving quickly. Maybe it's for cooldowns. Just based on that volt. Looks like that. Alright. I haven't seen him lay anything down. The footage did start with him just inside the base, so we didn't really see all the preparation.
For some reason. 23 minutes.
Ooh, that looks like it's that blue shot was probably...
For some reason. 23.
Yeah, that's got to be... I mean, it's either an Azoth bullet coming from somebody, or it's the beginning of the siege weapons. Alright, so again, if you're this musket user, right, standing on this hill, right, you're just presenting a target. You're not really
looks like I'm trying to go
advancing your position. You should be finding a spot, next to a tree, behind bushes, or even better on the rocks behind you.
Start getting range DPS on B.
This looks like it's acceptable. Oh, they did set up a cannon right here. There we go. They do have cannons. Does someone have to pilot them? Or do they just auto-fire? Imagine someone has to pilot them. Alright, the siege on B. Look at all that AoE. Alright, so again, too close. Too close. You're in front of anyone that might see you. They can just turn. If they notice you, they turn, boom, 3 shots, you're dead. There it is. Too close. Just take one spot, hide, crouch behind these bushes, and keep on getting those hits in. Let's see what the respawn is like. It looks alright. Immediate. You can choose any of the 3 rally points or the 4.
We're backing off low road A on me.
Yeah.
Low road A range.
Alright, low road A, if he's talking about what I think he's talking about, is probably the worst place to consolidate your forces. Right, there's no reason to be on low road A when you can be on the ridge just above it shooting down on low road A.
Get your food back up and everything.
But I do like the call, right? The idea of A, having a succinct call, B, that you talk about a specific position.
We can hold a little bit until
Alright, yeah, so they're holding low road A. This is the worst spot to hold. This is a bad call.
If they can, then we move up as well.
Alright, looks like they knocked off the main siege forces probably with the help of the cannon.
Alright, we're moving for the spawn trap. Let's go.
Alright, everybody here, lay down AoE.
Moving for the spawn, that's dirty. That's exactly what we should be doing. Alright, can you kill these? I imagine you can, yeah, it looks like you can.
Around the back.
Alright,
Seaside.
no.
Can you ping?
If you were trying to take a city, this would be a fine maneuver, but for defending your city, you're putting way too many forces. Alright, looks like you can't even get in. Okay.
If we just lay down AoE at the front gate.
If you did that, it would be a suicide mission. Yes, you might kill 10 for your 5, but they're respawning right there anyways.
Yeah, all going C.
They're lucky they're not getting punished, right? If there's any amount of forces coming this way.
B now.
Yeah, we're holding between B and C, kind of like, so we can still...
Holding between B and C seems like the optimal call here.
Yeah. Okay, we'll cover this.
And if C becomes a problem, we'll collapse. The main force
Ready
is
for the
up.
AoE.
There you go.
Lay
This is a
down,
much
lay
better
down.
holding
Yeah,
spot,
lay
right?
down
It's
on the
very
front.
hard.
There
You
go.
can just
Push
kill
it.
these guys
Push it.
as they
Hey,
come
hey,
to you.
I'm right behind you, banana.
Let's just hold A like we did in the beginning for a bit. Middle of the road.
Yeah.
Hold.
See, but holding this spot is holding A. It's like controlling Brazil in Risk, right? You control South America if you control Brazil.
Range DPS.
They're going B.
Like, there's no reason to put your forces on
Yeah.
Argentina
Alright,
ever.
let's
Look at
go.
this. You should never leave
Yeah.
the center one unoccupied. Not only that, it is the center one, so you can always fortify from B to A or C. It's much easier to do that than to go the other way.
Push up on banana here.
Alright, so again, the attacking forces seem to be coming in a little bit too sparsely, right? This is not a big numbered force. You're moving up, you're just going to get railed. You need to have like 3-to-1 numbers if you want to take a point. So you have to find a way to create a 3-to-1 advantage. If you're using this 10 to try to pull 20 to you, and then you're using the rest of your forces somewhere else, maybe you can get an advantage like that. Right here, this is what I was talking about before with that river. If you had one guy just sneaking around back here and then crouching his way to point A, you might be able to
We're backing
snipe
off,
it.
We're backing off the A boys. We're peeling back off. Range DPS, keep up.
They got a cannon, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's almost dead.
Let's push that cannon quickly.
Alright, so can they shoot the cannon?
Ping.
These look like the siege machines. God, this is so sweet, man.
Second the cannon is down, we're backing
Yeah,
off
we
slightly
can
because they're about
DPS
to
them
push
there at the
us.
gate. They're just kind of clumping there.
There you go, that's true. Yep, they're trying to clump to hold their siege
Back up,
weapons.
back up.
That makes for a pretty easy target. If you're trying to defend an area, fanning out around it makes it so it's harder for you to get hit. And you also have more vantage points to get consolidated damage.
We can push
As long
a
as the
little
one
banana
person doesn't get straggle shot, isolated.
Can back off. If you die, that's a GG. It's fine for the siege.
Okay, too aggressive of a position down there. Too far low, you're just easily visible to enemy team.
Alright, range DPS, hold us. Alright, you can pull backwards, you can pull back.
Pourquoi je peux pas tirer des fois là? Quand je me passe pas de suite, je sais pas, ça peut.
Alright, so again, holding the low road right here, just there's nothing about this that's better than holding on the ridge.
Il faut vraiment que je flex mon arme par contre, là, sans le snipe et tout, c'est relou là, il manque trop de points de talent.
Upper B on me is pinged.
It's only pinged for your group. It's
Yeah,
kind of.
yeah, yeah, somebody else has to ping.
Yeah, I pinged it here.
We're only
It's
It's only pinked for your group, alright. I wonder if that's like a buff that they're talking about.
Well, main group does.
Guys, if you want to buy something quick, now's your time.
Oh my god, you saw that fucking AoE just laid
That's a
down?
great. Whoa, hold on, let me see that
Oh
shot.
my god, you saw that fucking AoE just laid down? Holy fuck.
That guy didn't even flinch.
One guy.
Oh my
back
goodness.
down,
Don't worry, I can keep it with the stun. So you can keep it.
That was a shot to the face. Ooh, there you go. Alright, there we go. Siege weapons. Unless that's just a fire spell. Alright, so again, taking a slightly too aggressive position. It's fine because you have people ahead of you, but you'd be better off just holding off one spot. What's up, Liana?
Can we go outside?
Yeah, we'll go outside just in a bit, okay? I'm about to finish.
When I'm done?
When I'm done, we'll go outside, okay?
Okay.
Alright.
Yeah, make
You guys
it
are doing
just
fine
one stun.
Okay, it looks like they've got their one bomber coming over this way.
Sniping from across the water.
Alright, get higher on B.
It's important if you are going to send that one guy, try to make them invisible. They need to be as
Someone is smoking A from the
stealthy
water,
as
guys.
possible.
One is going A from the water. He's
There you
alone,
go.
It's fine.
Look at that. Someone's going A from the water.
Yeah, I'm kidding, I'm kidding.
Get him in the
If you have 50 defenders, it is totally worth just perching someone up here. Liana, what are you doing? What are you doing? Oh, you gonna ride the bike?
Her exercise bike and it's not on one.
Gotcha, you're putting it on one. Okay, that's fine. But you have, apart from that, you have to be quiet, okay?
Okay.
Okay. Alright, so let's see. Alright, no, this guy's trying to rush straight in. He's trying to get some points on it. It looks like the previous effort, it got whittled away. A, just by controlling it, moved the wheel back
Come on,
to
A with me.
full shots. Alright,
no,
if I'm this defender, getting this
Oh, no, no,
DPS, the chip DPS is not worth You'd rather just contest the point right away. But it looks like they get credit for it. Yes, it's blinking red.
He's alone. It's okay.
Mikey and I are on B, but we need help soon.
Move to A. We go.
Alright.
Okay.
Go back in, Mikey.
I'm going to.
So here we go. You did draw 3 defenders over here.
Main group's moving to B.
It's worth a death. Oh, we got the pot going. All right, more people coming.
Full group coming from the water. Come.
Yep, everybody on A.
Big group.
All right,
on
they
A.
did come through the water. They made their siege engine right away. They're pretty wow. That's pretty close. I would rather put this a little further away.
They got a.
You do need line of sight, which makes A such an easily defendable territory. I wonder if you can plant the siege engine up here.
Range it, and rush the front line.
2. Oh my God! Look at that damage.
They're coming.
What is this?
We need help from the main group.
Wow, look at, all right, so good position here with the musket, right? Not presenting a target, not standing where the rest of the AoE is coming. This is a little bit too far forward. There you go. Use half cover of the walls. This guy should be standing right on the edge of this ledge. No reason to be moving. Just keep on fighting the people right here.
Okay. Push, sandwich.
Sandwich, all right, good. All right, good call, right? These guys were retreating, asking them to push in. Consolidated effort. Look at that guy up here. Boom! This guy's got such a big advantage, and he's playing fire spells. So good, dude. 3 weapons. These look like the wrong weapons, though. Aren't these the? Man, are they really this low range? Wow, they put all these weapons here.
They put so many turrets up there.
All right, if you're the attacking team, I like the effort, the idea of a consolidated effort to push up on one area. But A, these are too close. B, this is the hardest area to attack. Had to run too much through a choke point. There's no good retreat, no good cover, except for the guy who got up here, but blue team should already be up here. So he's holding the point, but again, he's ahead of... There's a guy with a great hammer standing right next to him, right? Like, why would you stand in front of the guy with the great hammer?
There's a lot of guys here.
That guy's sword and shield and hammer.
Just got
Alright, so look at this. There's a respawn timer. Respawn available in 16 seconds.
respawn is
Just as this goes on, I need you guys a bit more grouped up for the heals. You're all too spread out.
I wonder what the range of the siege weapons will be exactly, and whether or not those are outside of the range of the turrets. Maybe they said, maybe they're deciding because B had multiple siege weapons on top of the gates. They're saying let's keep something out of the range of those and just try to take a point, which is a good idea.
And behind there, you can't
C'est
really
pas
see
comme
them.
les trucs
They're
d'avant où
standing
il
up
se
there
passait
at
rien.
range. Nice going.
Nice shot.
Chier quand même.
But again, these guys have just a wonderfully nice position. Red team has found a way to consolidate a favorable position despite being the attackers in the siege. That is a mistake by blue team. At least from this vantage point. He hasn't opened the map as much. I would like to see more map usage.
Yeah, I literally got 1 shot from full HP.
Me too.
Good line of sight from a green stack here.
It's a tower, guys. We'll do it a lot of damage.
Okay, that fire mage is doing so much work for them. Just his presence, right? The fact that everyone needs to be aware that he's there.
Alright, we're getting a slight bit of reinforcement.
It'll be interesting to see how much health these things have. If you can just like kill them when they get put down. If you're gonna die, to PvP fire. It looks like you can shoot the guys that are wielding it.
Don't overextend.
See, that's a good spot right there. Use the cover of the
Push back up.
flag.
Back up on the rock. They're gonna be between us. They're pushed A.
They're pushing A hard.
Okay, that's interesting. They're pushing A, but taking fire from the cannons on B.
Try fall back and lay down AoE.
Full on A.
All right, good push by red team. It maybe came a little bit too late compared to the siege weapon usage. Don't die again.
Alright, we gotta
Okay,
respawn and get
rapier.
on A. Well, the main group is the back of the fucking turrets, because the turrets are gonna kill us otherwise.
All right, let's see. Did they take point A?
And I hope our siege group on the top will keep them off A for long enough.
They're working on it. Ooh. See, all right. So this unit right here from red team, this is not worth it. Right, you're just too easy to pick off here. All right, don't go for that. Go for this.
And move on if you can. Move on to the edge if you can. It's like 5 or 6 of them.
Good job crouching. There you go. You can crouch and still get your shots off if you get right next to that wall. Advantageous position. This is the position you want to hold. Wow, looks like blue team was able to come back and hold this. I thought for sure they were going to give up this point. I don't see many shots coming overhead like from here, right? So I don't know that anything from the base can come down and hit this. But I do see some white shots there. Maybe those are that. Alright, they reclaim the point. They're rushing. The hammer use... Oh, I imagine the hammers actually deal increased damage here. Alright, good. We're finally getting this high spot. This guy's trying to hide. Was he crouched? And if so, how could he see him? Ooh, look at that spot.
Look at all those fucking cannons, man.
That was fucking...
Come up here. One-shot him with the rapier. This is the same guy that came here before. Boom, led the charge. Nice, good job.
Okay.
I think you actually do him a favor by offing him. If you leave him there, I guess he can always choose to respawn. This is where the musket guy should be standing all day. Right, look at this amazing vantage point. You can snipe people crossing the river. You crush any, you see anything. It's worth spending a defender here on the bluff.
They're also trying to get to B, but the main group's going to A, so.
Right, and even you, I'm sure you deal mitigated damage, right? You're going to deal mitigated damage to anyone coming up here. But just having one guy there, it only takes one defender to have permanent sight of this whole area. It is completely worth 1 out of 50 to do it. One place it's also definitely worth keeping people, it's definitely worth keeping people in the base. Not only if you have to man the turrets, but you also just want to have sight in case you're getting waylaid from behind. This guy's a tank.
The main group's still out.
Guys trying to back up A.
Yeah, 1A. Coming. I'm going A. Yeah, just one with me and we're good.
See, this is fine, right? You've got one guy defending this spot. Very unlikely that this guy just one-shots you in combat.
Like middle road.
You get to buy enough time to call for reinforcements. Now it's 4-on-2.
C is almost capped. I think we may...
Yeah, we know. If we pull off now, it doesn't matter if we lose C.
So really good job here by red team, sending one guy to A while they send the majority of the people to C. And it looks like this guy has anti... we'll say anti-bludgeoning damage. It's thrust damage, I think it's called, because he wasn't taking much damage at all. Either that or the musket was just missing. But you send one guy here, it pulls more people to defend, right? 2 attackers drew 5 defenders. This guy's not doing any work on the point, but that's fine. You're drawing the defenders, and it looks like they capped C. Sounds like they capped C. I don't know. We'll see. Next view of the map.
Prime example of them having cannons up at the back.
Oh, they've got a... Is that a cannon they were able to leave there? There's like one right here. The structure I didn't get to see. Now, if I were defending, right, you can use the water to your advantage. That would be a totally fine spot to put it in an advanced turret.
Get down, hit the deck.
Get on the same spot, guys.
Lay down, you won't see your ass.
Là, ce qui leur manque, c'est des shields en fait, je pense.
I'll raise
Riv.
never mind.
That guy's not taking any damage. Oh, there he goes.
You getting his ass duel?
Good job. Constantly move side to side just a little bit, just so people can't line up those headshots on you.
I just wanted to buy some assault arrows, man.
Oh, he got one shot while buying arrows? That's funny.
I'm quickly buying at A.
Okay, this is good, right? Hold this position. Do not go any further forward.
Rémi Poulet!
So it looks like they did not cap C.
Reviens là, frérot.
Across the woods are sniping.
Here you go. Keep
Yeah,
moving.
we're going A, we're going A.
Head into A, head into
Yeah.
Let's go back to
All right,
A.
so again, this is the advantage of the pond right here.
I'm running interference on main road. I'm gonna
They are able to defend B, and you de facto defended A.
They're going around the back.
On va essayer de retourner en haut là, comment ça se fait.
AoEs, boys. AoEs.
Oh, this is not much. Was that a pyromancer spell? It doesn't. If it's only that little AOE, then that is not much. Unless it's that like super high damage where if it hits you, it dead on.
Again?
Get rid of that fucking thing.
Yeah, focus again.
Alright, so I'm assuming C's been capped. But they're coming hard on A, alright, good. They're taking this advanced spot. They shouldn't have come up the river this way. They should have crossed over on that side, allowing less damage to come at them while they come up. There you go, good cover. That guy's smart, right? Hiding behind cover, coming out to cast spells, and then immediately ducking back behind. Alright, if I'm the musket user, I'm focus firing the people that are manning the turrets.
Great axe. It's 40 seconds spawn times now, boys, don't die.
40-second spawn times.
Watch your AoE for their final push.
So the spawn, the respawn looks like it goes up over time. Unless it's per death, it goes up. 7 points. It looks like they still hold C. In fact, it looks like they might... Actually, you know what? I never checked. These might be turning red as they're being... Let's see, we're at 24-20. Let's go back to a point.
He's on and off.
Yeah, okay, so you can see them all right here. So 24-20, let's go back.
He's alone, he's okay.
So you can actually see how they actually held C.
Yeah.
Got him, you got him, he's dead, I saw it.
Look at those bombs. They're going at the gates.
Just hold that guy, hold that guy.
Oh my goodness.
So if you're sieging, if you're red team, you want to be aiming your AoE behind the point to kind of create this wall of fire to trap people inside. It also stops the fortifications from coming, the reinforcements. Keep strafing, keep strafing. Healers are important. It looks like blue team's gonna hold this fairly easily. They've got all 3 points still.
Alright, we're full pushing, boys. We're full sending.
Right.
Push. Oh, look at the weapons. They invested so much.
Now we're just doing it for the fucking sake of it.
So I imagine you can break these, right? I just imagine that the hammer has to be really good at killing these. This guy's trying to hallelujah run, but this is nothing, right? Like, running into the point, this isn't good enough. You gotta win the fight and then have your group stand on the flag to have any chance of claiming it. Good dodges, good dodge. Still got down. Oh, so close. See that reaction? How much health was that? 13.
Whoa.
He got his potion off at 13. The insane mechanics.
I died twice to a one-shot as well.
Yeah, 600. That's what I'm saying, that the early game wars siege.
All right, so we see these tags. It looks like your team can tag like where they're going to be looking. What is that? Something showed up right there.
I'm dead.
A lot of them stacked at A. They're grabbing A now. We need to actually try a bit here.
Good job crouching in the bushes, making yourself hard to see. There you go. Find a good advantageous spot. So that's the one thing that red team wasn't doing enough of, which was actually getting their front line on A. They were fighting off. They were fighting off the edge and trying to hold this point. You want more distance between your ranged artillery, and then you want your frontliners to come here and start holding it. So a healer, hopefully like a paladin type build. You get a healer and tanks trying to hold this area, and melees that can hold, push back, especially knock people back. Someone's firing from up there. That way you get space for your range casters. They were trying to hold this hill, so that means the front line from blue team was already on the back line. Good spot for a musket user. Nice job identifying that there's someone up there. Just putting some threat on them, right? Making it harder for them to get completely one-sided advantage. Right, you're making that person, just by firing at them once, you're reducing their DPS from 100%. They can't ignore the fact that they're getting hit. They have to start deciding, all right, I'm getting hit. I need to move around a little bit more. Ergo, their total damage will go down. Dude, they're going to defend this. It looks like it was pretty easy. They almost lost C.
Alright, push high on A. There's a few stragglers. Catch them.
High on A. Alright, I like the description. High on A is very descriptive of where the threat is.
Yeah, use explosive barrels for that shit. If you can, there's a few ranged over the mountain. A few boys over the mountain.
See, this is what I would have done. As a red team, you can put your siege machines here. if you want to go. Now, A's, again, like I said, probably only 10% of the time do you want to be focusing A. Because it's the easiest one to defend. But if you are going to attack it, siege machines, specifically not the ones that are going after the base, but the ones that are for PvP, the repeaters, you'd set them up on your side of the river, making it very hard for the melee users to get them, and then you're raining fire on defenders.
Because our siege went down, it kind of...
Can we actually get in their camp? Is that a thing?
Yeah, you need to have explosive barrels to blow their gates off.
220, they've got all 3 points. Now they're going for achievements. It's like, can we get in their camp? They wanna teabag the spawn point, I think. All right, now it's okay to push, right? Because it's the very end of the game. You can push hard, which puts threat on enemy team. You're saying we're dealing damage to you right now. We want to deal maximum damage so you can't bring any amount of force. This is the spot the musket should have held most of the game. This guy's been dealing lots of deeps.
I see about 5, 6, 7 heading up.
Minute and 40 seconds. It looks like they're going to do it.
Alright, they look like they're getting a little bit anxious here.
Someone's taking A. Someone was able to sneak onto A.
What's happening on there?
It looks like just one person, though. All right, are they fighting back for it?
Alright, move you head back.
Yeah,
Coordinate.
Alright, I'll stay.
We're holding high A. High A.
We're holding high A. I don't know if you're holding high A. There's someone's capturing A. But this is how slowly one person does.
Is it just an A fault?
I imagine it's the amount of people more than you have of the opposition that will start turning the colors. So someone on blue is probably here.
Alright, final push, boys. Let's go, let's go, let's go. Final push to the gates. Let's go.
Okay. All right. So I like the style of the push call. It's probably thematically wrong. You just want to hold. You say, all right, we've got all our spots. The only way we could possibly lose right now is if we don't see an entire unit coming to take everything. But I think the siegers have to take point A, point B, point C, and then get in the gates and then take the flag in the middle of the base.
I got killed. Oh, man, those guys shoot hard.
41-second respawn, it looked like, which
Which
puts him at the end of the game. So he gets unfortunately, he doesn't get to see much of the
It
game.
just sucks being dead when the game win the game. Oh, what a downer.
Respawn available in 28. The timer goes away. Come on, pan around. Let's see.
Mad.
Look at this. Natural defenses. Use natural defenses to your advantage.
Look at that.
Dude, this was sweet though. I'm not gonna lie. This was completely crazy. This is gonna be so much fun to do. Alright, let's see what happens. War spoils.
Oh, what?
9,000 XP. 472 coin. Marauder reputation. That's a lot. That's like a full item worth of stuff. Marauder tokens. Beautiful. And Azoth.
War spoils.
So you can spend Azoth before you fight to because you know you're going to get some back. You're always capped, so you might as well go down, it looks like, by 400. Although if you lose, I imagine this number's lower.
Yo, I got
He was level 29. Boom, look at this.
10k XP.
10k XP, yeah.
That's
Nice.
right, yo.
You got 10k XP, bro?
I got
must have
3k
shite.
XP.
Ooh, how come someone only got 3k and someone got 10?
Yeah, I got 5. I must have
Yeah, I got
shite.
enough K.
Not enough DPS, I guess.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
nearly 11k.
Yeah, the 9 event.
Wait, you got 11k Tempest?
Alright, boys, back
yeah.
to me.
Kills 15, deaths 3, assists 76. Total, what? 118,000 damage. Standout players. Drula rank 14. What is this? This is some sort of score. I wonder what it is, but they have two guys. Tryndamere. I wonder if this is Riot Tryndamere. And Danny from, these could be the LoL players. Any chance? Sir Baltazar, Nilo. So look at the scores, right? So much lower here. So it must be something about controlling points.
Pretty
I
much.
think it's level
Let's
based.
go. War debrief, main.
On a listat.
I did 11,000 in
Oh,
okay.
incroyable.
Total damage
Number 4.
100k.
Position.
Good fucking job.
Like
Wait.
Total damage. You can sort by total damage. Damage taken. How much he dealt. So this is not a good ratio, right? As a musket user, you probably want to be at least 5-1. Siege damage, 0. Makes sense, since he's already ranged. You want to get probably people who don't have access to range, or healers, maybe? I don't know. We'll see what the what it comes out to as far as what the ranges are. I need to see more about those. Weapon kills all 15. Siege kills, he didn't use a siege engine. Player damage. So actually, look at that. Almost the majority of his damage came from siege attacks, and he didn't get hit that often. So those things hit really hard.
19 kills, 6 deaths, 114 assists.
Wait, where could you see that? I didn't see
16
it.
kills.
You see the overview. Like,
Sort by assists. Let's see. Boom! Look at this.
Boys, remember, look at this.
Guys.
The top 25 are all us, man. The teamwork was insane. They only got 3 in the top 40, so the teamwork was unbelievable. It's fucking blinding.
Danny,
Absolutely. Yeah, sorry.
Kill assist.
we have Wind and Trandamir on the siege weapon.
Les
second
siege weapons
place
sont
and
toujours
fourth
devant Garrosh.
place. We
En
have
fait, quand
done
je
a
les avais pris une
fantastic
fois,
job,
là.
man.
Mate,
So many kills.
C'est 100 fois mieux que
when we were pushing in, I see people flying, they're getting smacked by them cannons. It was insane.
The fucking
Big fucking plays.
that gilded shit was fucking so. Dude, being able to fucking react on a call like that.
So
was
nice.
nice.
Boys, if you're in Everfall, come and root upon the stairs of Everfall. Stairs of Everfall, let's go.
I'll be getting a good old flex photo.
Good old T5 boys. If we ever lose Everfall, we've been here, it's been great. It's had a fucking mega fight.
So I watched that on Twitch, but it was fucking gold every moment of it.
There's only one question left. Who's next?
Who's
Spread
next?
out down the stairs, spread out the
Sur un
stairs. Gotta
canon,
get the top.
petit
Spread
canon.
out a bit, spread out a bit.
airport? Does anybody know if they lost it?
Oh, actually,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's tomorrow.
tomorrow.
Therefore,
They
they complain about PG zerging and then get fucking hammered in a 50v50.
Did
Boys,
somebody
it's
say
beautiful,
pirate
beautiful,
gaming
remember?
mercenaries?
Nice and positive, lads.
Yeah,
Nice and
c'est
positive.
Sick,
GG's all. Okay, let's give us some GG's in global chat.
I can only
They were
imagine
a good
the
enemy.
other side of the chat, right? What they're going
That
through.
was really fun.
This, they're probably pretty analytical. Here's what we did, but
Let's
probably
try and hold the
dejected.
skills for a second.
Dude, this is such a high. I'm just watching it, and it's sick.
Okay.
All right, so that wraps it up. Let me go see if I can find another motion where he's got the map out.
Keep pushing forward.
Where's the first moment he had the map? I thought he put it right here.
Otherwise, you just block each other. Can't walk through each other.
And we'll talk about game theory, right? So, advanced game theory. The best way to describe it would be of your expected outcomes. How do you maximize your win potential and your win rate, right, and your winnings? And for example, in poker, there's the optimal way to play, but if everyone knows the optimal way to play, then they'll instantly know what you have based on how you're playing. So you have to mix things up. Another example would be rock, paper, scissors, right? If you're playing rock, paper, scissors against someone and you realize that they throw rock more than anything else, what's the correct answer for beating them? Well, you can't just go paper, because then they'll realize, oh, he's going paper way too much. I'm going to throw scissors. And right, you're giving them the chance to adapt to their game style. Instead, you slowly increase your paper amounts so that you start winning slightly more. You decrease your scissors. Let's say you were going 33, 33, 33. You say, all right, well, I'm going to go down to 25, and I'm going to go up to 40 on paper. Right, and you just take that 5% win. You just say, I'm slowly beating you. It is very unlikely that you will ever beat me or ever be ahead by like 10 margins, for example, because they haven't realized that you're only throwing paper 4 out of 10 times. If you were doing it 6 out of 10, they would realize, it might take them a little bit to realize it, but they might say, that's a lot of papers, and they might change their strategy. So advanced game theory, right, there's the optimal, and then there's the meta-optimal, sort of like the derivative, and then there's another layer between this. I do want to see this map. I'm going to find the map and talk about the defenses that people could have used. I'm going to try to find it on the bar here. It might be kind of tough because he only looked at it a few times. Definitely would have been looking at it more often. You want to communicate with pings with your team, especially if you have group leaders that can ping a point and say, well, let's hold this. Hold pink, right, and then you ping pink. Still not seeing it. He definitely opened it before this point, so the scanner's just not showing me what I want to see. Playback speed. How do I go faster? Okay, we'll just go at 2x speed and wait until he pops it up. So this point, again, we spoke about that low point. No reason to hold that low point, right? You're just presenting a threat without really controlling anything better that you could hold from the hill right above it, right? So up here, you would get cover. You'd be able to control this same spot without ever presenting this target. This right here is a big mistake. One guy actually holding him off is fine, right? The mistake from the guy rushing the point, you should just try to win the fight and then bring your numbers onto here. One guy we've seen cannot control a point. It's way too slow. He's not going to look at the map here. Too much fighting. All right, let's see if he looks from now. No, probably not. Too much fighting. So from the attacker's point of view, too much back and forth. Too much moving to one, moving to the other. All right, let's try this, let's try that. It's too easy. The defenders are closer to the nucleus, right? It's easier for them to defend wide arcs. The attackers need to take these wide arcs to attack space. There we go. This is what we want. Let's go with playback speed here. All right. So let's talk about this position. It looks like the defenders have this area, all right? This is where they're spawning, or this is where their camp is. I don't know if it's, or maybe it's just this. That would make sense. All right, this is the defenders area. When you're looking at natural defenses, right? So first, on one side, you've got complete natural defense over the backside. That makes this territory probably one of the better ones to try to grab, because it will be very easy to defend if this is always the siege direction. Now, if you can get artillery up here, if you can try to get people to hold these high points, that would be great. The defenders have very natural defenses here. This looks like it's all high fortress, or these are the buildings on the outside. This is definitely the city proper. This is where they ran down. Yeah, so these are these rampart makeshift siege areas where you can set up. It looks like you can set up siege engines there as well. C is furthest away. A is definitely the easiest to defend because you've got this natural defense here. This is deep, right? So they're never going to traverse right through there. They could send people all the way around. If you're going to do it, you want to do it with numbers. B, always going to be the easiest to defend because it's the middle. The flank, if you're going to go flank attacks, I'd say the primary strategy would be to go to C. The issue is you don't want to present a target as you're moving there, nor do you want to give them information. So if I'm the attackers, I'm sending the majority of my forces around this way. And we're going to take a wide road here. Hopefully use the cover of this area if you can get around here. And come back, and then we're going to try to rush C, having only presented the target here. Now, you do want to cover the most important choke points on the fight, right? So between B and C, between B and A. So if you can get your siege weapons here to be able to spray these things. So like I said, the best attack is this one. So 60% of the time, you want to do this. 30% of the time, you want to do the next best, right? Which might be come here, look at C, and actually come over and say, we're actually going to consolidate on B, right? You could come over here, in fact, and say, bring everyone to C, but we're actually just going to run right through. Unfortunately, the downside to that is you're going to take a lot of siege engine damage. If you could take these high points and have someone shooting at the war structures inside, I don't know if it's doable, but that would definitely be something you want to do. The hardest one to defend is A. If you're going to attack A again, you want to take the wide spots. Preferably, you can take 60%. Again, we're going to do 60, 30, 10 a lot. 60% here. Put 30% here as a holding area. You want to be able to spray this area as people rotate from A to C. Okay, if they're going to rotate over, you also want some amount of your forces here. So if the defenders overcommit to C, you can rally and get more people over to A. The issue is that this B holding spot, especially right here, does defend B, and it also controls A, right? You can't really run people. You have to go this way. Don't take the road. You'd have to come around, except that you're going to be a little bit slower. Hopefully you have some gap close ability, and if you do, you can cross this river quickly and then come on over. All right, so you could send 60 here, 30 to hold the middle to basically deal damage to the main forces and come around. You could also go and say, especially if it's the first play of the game, I could send 100% of my guys all the way around, right? Just never present a target. Go all the way around here. Get there and try to just nail C, right? Like a sledgehammer. One fell swoop, boom. That's called the Blitzkrieg, right? You're going to go there with everything you've got. You can set some amount of people in B, near B, just to kind of hold the eyes. You could send maybe 3 people on a mission this way. So if I were going to hold this, probably I would have one group of 5 looking here, kind of keeping the eyes of B. I would have 3 people on a stealth mission trying to get all the way to A. And we would have 42 people come and try to just hammer down C. 60% of the time, that's our plan. All right. The other flank, right, we talked about A. You could do the same thing over here. You could get strong forces. As we saw, there is a high area here. And if you can come and win this area, then you can control this area for your casters and your range users. I would have liked to see the red team get more units up here and place siege machines here on the other side of the river. Make it very difficult for those Warhammer users to get onto you. And then you can use this to pepper fire to this whole area, right? You're going to be able to hit this whole arc. Doesn't matter if you can't reach the base. You need to be able to control the points first, right? So you want something that can shoot both of these. Accidental click. You want something that right here that can fire both of these areas, that can cover this ground, hopefully just pepper this area with a lot of fire, and that'll help your team come over and control this spot and hopefully come take this. As the musket user, ranged user, you're much better off holding one of these one of these high ground positions with good cover. You're better off keeping one guy up here. It's totally worth it. You've got 50 defenders. You've got people on your siege machines and inside the base. You probably want one guy here and one guy here so that you can just see as much as possible. This spot is probably too advanced. There's no way to really get here without being threatened by enemies. They can probably hit up here. I don't know if you can even get up there. If you're the attacker, you could have one shot color, try to get up on top of these bluffs. Maybe this one, probably not again, too contested. If you can get one guy up here, then you can see so much, right? The graphics and the viewpoints in this, it's so important to have one guy, especially if it can be your shot caller. You actually don't necessarily need it to be someone with ranged weapons because you want them with clarity. You want to give them the opportunity to see the whole fight and make good decisions. If they're worried about aiming a musket, right, and crouching and moving by and getting shots off, then they're not seeing the whole fight. So this would be a totally fine place for you know, your governor, for example, but someone who doesn't have the range damage, isn't a tank. It's very hard for your I'm gonna say your rapier users to get into the fight. Most of those people pair with a ranged weapon, so maybe they have some way to get involved. But you could also just get a bunch of ranged users here, you know, again helping to volley down an area so that the tanks can get in. Anyways, that was super cool. I'm super pumped for this. This is going to be my favorite part of the game, bar none. It's going to be absolutely incredible. The thrill of taking a base, the relief and you know, exaltation of holding a base. But, you know, that moment, if you win the fight, it seems so hard to do. These spots are so easy to defend. They're so close together. You need to be able to win fights. And if you can win fights, then you can take points. One of the things that will be interesting about the defense, coming back to the map, after you take C, it allows the defenders to just hold A and B. So there is a sort of pro and con to having that hammer down. I do like the sledgehammer approach where you just take one and say, all right, we've got it. But again, ranged here, using this arc as a way to spray. It's probably the only way to get this one is an early hammer. If the other team just gets to hold their forces here and shoot at you from the base, it's going to be really, really tough to get to C. A, again, the flank. It's so tough to imagine the attackers being able to take these. Defending is so much easier. You need to be stronger to attack. And then after you get these, you need to get into the base, through the mines, through the fire pits, and in here. Whew, that's going to be tough. But I can't wait to do it. You guys will be the first to see if it does. All right, thanks for tuning in, guys. That was a pleasure. I hope you had fun. Throw me that like, subscribe, follow, all the jazz. It really helps me out, and I will catch you soon. Keep it surreal. Peace.